What's good, geeks? I am Jake, and I am Gen X.
I'm Anna, and I'm Gen Z.
And we are
Generational Geeks.
Today, we are doing a review / rant
of the worst movie ever.
Cats.
I would rub my face like that, but I'm wearing makeup.
So, we watched Cats about a month ago or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of in a show hole, so it might have been like 6 or 8 weeks ago. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
A little bit of a show hole, and we're in between shows and movies, and we had the opportunity to watch Cats. I thought my wife would like it, so I picked it up, and we watched it. And...
well, you thought she would like it when it was, like, first announced.
Yeah.
And then you saw the trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
And we thought it was a horror film.
Yeah. So we always heard good things about the play. And I've been to plays, and I enjoy going to plays, musicals, whatever. You know, the whole theater experience is kind of cool. So my wife and I have always talked about seeing Cats. We've never done it. It's been in town, whatever town we've lived in before, several times. We never went. I hope it's better than the movie. So, this movie was directed by Tom Hooper. He's a British...
who is not a basketball player, despite the last name Hooper.
Wow. You don't know that. He could have played some basketball. So, he's a British-Australian film and television director. He directed this, so I really didn't care what else he's worked on. I hope I never watch another one of his movies again. So it did have a really good cast. I mean, it had Judi Dench, who played M from James Bond. Idris Elba. I like Idris Elba. He's been in several things that I liked. He's been in some things that I didn't like. He was in The Dark Tower. I did not care for that movie. But he was in the last Fast and Furious spin-off movie that I watched. He did good in that. There's even been some rumors of him being the next James Bond. Totally for that. But they got him in this movie somehow. Jennifer Hudson, she was on American Idol. Ian McKellen, he was Magneto and Gandalf in X-Men and Lord of the Rings, Hobbit movies. Taylor Swift, Rebel Wilson. Really star-studded cast.
This just goes to show that even if you have a lot of talent on set, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be making a great movie.
Which has happened before. I mean, there's been other movies where they have more than like a couple big name actors and actresses, and it just kind of fails. But this is beyond anything that I've ever seen.
And for any of you that actually care, this will kind of contain spoilers.
Oh, it'll contain spoilers all over, because I just don't care.
But I mean, you can't really spoil something that doesn't necessarily have a plot, so... yeah. It was released in theaters in December 20th, 2019, and like we said, we watched it not too long ago, so we're kind of late to the bandwagon, but the film received negative reviews from critics, obviously, who criticized the CGI effects, plot, or lack thereof, and tone, with many calling it one of the worst films of 2019. The film was a box office bomb, grossing $76 million on a budget as high as $100 million, and it's estimated to have lost Universal Pictures $71 to $114 million.
Yeah, because when they talk, $100 million budget, they're not even including the advertising. So a lot of times you have to almost, not quite, but almost double the budget for advertising. And yeah, this was definitely a box office bomb. And when they talk about bad CGI, I mean, the word bad doesn't even begin to describe how awful the CGI was. And I know they released the movie, and then after, I think it was a week or two, they actually had to, like, release a new version of the movie where it had better CGI. I couldn't imagine what it was before they released that. But
it was,
from what I read, they were like floating above the ground.
Yeah, they weren't. Their feet weren't touching the ground.
Yeah.
Which is just layers and layers of CGI. But it is. The film is rated PG and is based off the 1981 Broadway of the same name, Cats.
Yes. Which.
Broadway musical, not Broadway.
Which I would probably still
see
this as a play, because not everything translates from being
it's a
play.
Musical.
Yeah, but not everything translates from being a play to being a movie. Obviously,
and
we're talking about one that didn't.
In the actual play / musical, whatever you want to call it, it kind of had the same thing where it was just mainly a bunch of people coming onto set and singing their name and introducing themselves through song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the movie kind of tried to put a plot to that.
Well, from what I read, it was the movie and the play are really in sync. But I think one of the parts that just made it so difficult to watch was how glaring the CGI was. I mean, it's one thing to watch a play where people are dressed up as cats. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to sit there and watch a movie where it's like
anthropomorphic cats
yes.
that also have ears
and tails that just randomly
sometimes I personally think with the design that they should have kind of gone for a more masquerade effect, so kind of people wearing like cat masks and trench coats with fur linings,
maybe some CGI to kind of like CGI enhance it.
CGI tails would be fine.
Yeah, but I mean,
like
even if they just did more subtle CGI to enhance the prop, that would be their costume.
Yeah, and they didn't necessarily need to make the world around them bigger, because in some parts everything was like huge compared to them, and then in others it was like completely normal.
Yeah. Like
the ship scene, everything on there was like human-sized, but when they're walking down the railroad, they're like this big.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and in some of the rooms, the chairs and tables were a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the ship, it was like they fit on it normally.
Perfectly.
Yeah. And even on the end, when she's flying away, she fits in the basket normally. So, yeah.
So I feel like they could have just kept everything normal and still had the same effect.
Yeah. Well, and it was really... Well, we'll get into that. But, so... this cat named Victoria is dropped off in the streets of London by her owner in the middle of the night, and all these alley cats kind of spring up out of nowhere, circle around her, and start introducing themselves. And they're all part of this group called the Jellicles, and everything is Jellicle, and it's Jellicle. And
cats are Jellicle things.
And throughout the films, all these competitors are competing to become the Jellicle, even though they're already the Jellicles, but they're trying to be
the most Jellicle.
Yes. So
and
they introduce themselves and they express their contributions to the community through song.
Which some of them weren't even contributions, it was just character traits. I almost said the wonderful Mr. Miyagi. That's how memorable the characters' names are. But the fat cat, basically, he doesn't contribute anything. He's just fat.
And he eats a lot.
And the Amy Schumer cat.
Oh, that wasn't Amy Schumer.
I know. I call her Amy Schumer because I always get those two mixed up. So I thought it would be funny to nickname her the Amy Schumer cat. But she doesn't contribute anything either. Though she's not a jellicle. She's a house cat, and that's why she's fat. But if that's the case, then why is the other cat fat? If he's a stray cat,
but he was like the leader to a certain extent.
Well, the leader was the old lady.
Yeah, the Judi Dench cat.
I don't remember her name.
I don't either.
It was like M or something.
Queen
It was
Jellicle.
weird. Queen Jellicle.
The one that decides who the Jellicle of the Jellicles is,
And who they made Jellicle didn't make sense. But
And
we'll get into that.
I can't even remember how it was. This movie like an hour and a half?
Wasn't it like 2 hours?
Maybe. I don't know.
Time just kind of slowed down.
Audrey fell asleep. Yeah, so there's that.
She woke up and Dad and I were just pouring bleach on her eyes.
So, good points to the movie. Like I said before, had a really good cast. They're talented actors and actresses. And for the most part, they all had pretty good voices.
Yeah.
So they sang really well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that their acting chops actually helped them out in this movie.
No.
But their voices did.
They sang the same song like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And it was like about dancing with a ghost. So I'm not joking. Yeah.
So
nothing really stood out as good to me. I mean, the character designs, you had a lot to work with and you kind of failed, obviously. But
yeah. Bad things about the movie. Bad CGI. Bad acting. And overall, just a bad transition from stage to screen.
Yeah, I feel like some plays could get adapted to the big screen really well. Chicago was a really good adaptation. Wasn't like
Christmas Carol.
Wasn't Into the Woods like kind of similar to Wicked or something?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I think there was a Wicked movie, something like that. Heathers. Well, I guess that started out as a movie and then became a musical. But I mean, it's kind of the same feeling. Like, it shows that you can adapt something and change it to fit something else. But this movie did not do that.
I don't even know who wanted this movie.
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing anybody asking for it.
I didn't see a single Cats fan be like, you know what, I want a Cats movie. That's what I want for this franchise.
Yes. So
I rate this movie 0 jellicles out of 10.
This was definitely the most jellicle movie I've ever seen. Okay, I'm going to be a little more generous. I'll give it a 2.
It was the worst movie I've ever seen, so I'm giving it a 0.
I think I've seen worse, but not that much.
Have never seen worse. But back to the point where we were like, the ending of who got picked to be Jellicle didn't make sense.
So they had this whole magic battle. Because apparently a couple of the cats were magic. And then it led to this one cat being picked. So I'll let you say what you were going to say.
So what was the name of the Raggedy Cat? The actress's name?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyways, she's like this...
Was it Jennifer Hudson?
I think it was Jennifer Hudson.
Okay.
It was like this raggedy street cat and stuff, and her coat was all ripped and matted and stuff, and it was to show that she was like kind of messy and stuff. And everyone in the beginning of the movie didn't like her. They all treated her as an outcast, and they acted like they hated her. But by the end of the movie, after...
Well, because she had left...
And joined the bad guys team.
And joined the bad magician guy, who was Idris Elba. Mm-hmm. Joined his team. And then he used her and abused her and cast her aside.
Yeah. But Point is, they didn't like her, and then by the end of the movie, they've started liking her again. And the whole point of the Jellicle Ball, which is what it's called, is to pick one cat to be reborn, in a sense. And they're, like, put into this hot air balloon basket thing and shot off into space.
She ain't going to space.
They're shot off into the sky, and then supposedly they're reborn or whatever. Why would someone who has been fighting to be liked for a very long time decide that once they were liked by the people they were trying to be liked by, why would they decide to be reborn as someone else that the people they wanted to like them don't know?
Because it's Jellicle.
No! It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I have to say, after remembering about the magic and the hot air balloon...
Yeah, there's teleportation.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Cats are teleporting.
Yes. I'm giving it a 1. Because this is a 1 to 10. She gave it a 0, but I'm going to stick to the rules and go with 1.
Fine, 1 out of 10 if you want to follow the rules. Look at this Jellicle being following the rules.
So, don't watch it. I mean, I don't want to say don't watch it, because if you want to watch it. But don't go in with any kind of expectations.
Like, our expectations
were very low.
Here,
just based off of the trailers that I saw and the reviews and the fact that I knew the CGI was bad, I had very low expectations. And I was still disappointed.
Yeah.
So, take that for what it's worth.
Luckily, we found a good show to start watching after.
Yeah.
So.
With that, I am Gen X.
I am Gen Z.
We are Generational Geeks.
Make sure to like this video if you liked this video. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Share this with your friends, your family, your grandma. And have a wonderful day.
And if you got ideas you want us to talk about, movies you want us to review, TV shows,
games you want us to play, videos you want us to react to.
So, we did buy the original Borderlands on PS4, so we will be live streaming that, playing that together.
Yes. This man, have you ever played Borderlands before? He's never played Borderlands, none of them. So.
It'll be fun.
And it won't take very long, because the first Borderlands is a fairly quick play.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just don't get too used to hardly any fall damage. I've done that before and tried to play other games. But I hope you enjoyed the video.
Peace out.